Hiya lovelies, or welcome if you're new here. So a few of you might have tuned in, kind of expecting to see some van progress on my build. Well, unfortunately, due to the fact that the welder still hasn't appeared, what are we now, 6 or 7 weeks down the line? Yeah, things have kind of come to a little bit of a standstill. I have done a few wee bits and pieces, but I didn't think there was any point in showing you them because, I can see the work that's been done, but it's not really very visual for use. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you a bit of a haul, shall we say. I started kind of collecting a few wee bits and pieces before I even had my van. Now, I know a few of you might say, oh, that was very premature, but I knew it was going to be a thing. I've known it's going to be a thing now, maybe for the last 10 years. No, I haven't been collecting things for the last 10 years because that would have just been maybe a bit freaky. But yeah, but still, there are a few bits and pieces here that I have had for a little while, as I said, before I even got my van on the driveway and kind of picked one, bought one, etc. So I have a few gadgety bits here, and I have a few what I'm classing as my essentials for my van build. Just to point out, there are a few little bits and pieces behind me, the likes of the solar panels here. I can't give links or anything for that set because they were really kindly gifted to me by a very good friend. I do have a little bit of like a camping cooker stove here. I'll go into that one a little bit more in a little while. Yeah, you can see bits and pieces around me, but I've got big boxes of stuff down below that you can't see. Right, so basically what I done was I wrote down a list of kind of what I need to start my build and a few what I class as what I'm going to need and essentials. A lot of people said to me, don't do it, Linz, don't buy anything until I don't know, kind of ply liner and insulator and all this kind of stuff, and throw a mattress in the back and go away. Yes, well, I don't do things by halves, and when I know what I want, I know what I want. So I'm going to start off first by basically what I'm going to be using to power my van. So as you can already see in the background, I have two 100 watt solar panels, which, did I just say that already? They're by EcoWorthy. Came with a whole big kit and everything like that, fitting kit, control panel. I'm not going to show you all that kind of stuff because you'll see that in future videos when I'm starting off my build. But what I am going to show you to start with, I'm going to have to go down a wee bit. There we go. Oh, I look tiny now. Is I'm going to show you what I've bought to connect my vehicle battery to what I'm going to have as my leisure batteries. So I intend at the moment to get two 100 amp leisure batteries, if that's going to make any sense to anybody's. I will be getting them from Halfords, and I will be getting what's classed as the A class because they're just better and they're deeper cycle run or something along them lines. But I went in with a split charger. Now my van doesn't have a smart alternator, which, I think that's luckily enough for me because they do get a bit complicated when it comes to all that. But I've gone in for the Durek. I think that's how it's pronounced. Sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? But basically this is a split sensor relay, so it kind of, when your battery's charging up by your main battery, should I say, is being charged when the vehicle's running, it will take that excess power and it will filter them into your leisure batteries. So I bought this as a whole kit, and I bought this from a company called Split Charge over in the UK. I think it was in around the €50 mark I paid for it. I can't quite remember, but I will, if I can find it, I will put a link down below. Now I just want to add in there, if you are looking at your vehicle's batteries and you're saying, or your vehicle system, and you're going, oh my god, is it a split alternator? Is it a smart alternator, should I say, or is it a normal one? A really easy way of checking this is having a look at your actual battery. I think I might do a little bit of a separate video on this. If there's what looks like an electrical connection going into your main starter battery, then there's a good possibility that you've got a smart, what's classed as a smart alternator. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. You're probably going to have to go for something like a C-Tech. But in this, It came with all the leads and everything like that. It's absolutely fantastic set. I will hopefully be doing a little bit of a video on that when I start into all that kind of jazz. Right, so we'll just throw that over there for now. Right, so as I said, that's how I'm going to be kind of charging up my battery system with the split charge from the alternator and then a backup of the solar. Don't know how that's going to work in Ireland because, you know, well, for the last 2 weeks since I last done a video for you lovelies, we've had hail, we've had rain, we've had spot flooding, and it's just been unbelievable. So I already mentioned I have my mattress. I am planning on having, I can't sit for very long, very still because my back kills me. I am planning on having a fixed bed system in the back of the van. I have at the moment got like tape and stuff laying out a bit of a floor plan, but I'll show you that in the next video. Now, where do I go next? Yeah, I'm going to go with this one because this was a bit of a mistake. I'll just take out some of these bits I've had floating around for a while. I wanted a big sink in my van, yeah, and I think, you know, I've had this now since I think the first week I bought the van. When I was going online and I was kind of doing my measurements out and stuff like that, I'd actually measured the inside diameter of my sink instead of what it was with the outside lip. Now, I wanted a big sink, so I'm not overly disappointed with this one, because for things like, you know, as you can see, I have very long hair and I'd like to be able to have just a sink that I could wash my hair in and, you know, kind of have like, what's it called, a flannel bath maybe in the sink. I don't know, we'll see. So that's what I have for the sink. I've nowhere to put anything, please excuse me. So yeah, one thing I will say I was quite impressed with that is the cardboard box it comes in is actually going to work out as a template that I can put on the top of my wood to cut out. So yeah, over in there you're not really going to be able to see it too well. See, can I move you around? I have picked up 3 packs of what's classed as garage flooring or gym flooring. You might be wondering, why has she gone and bought that? It's waterproof. It's insulated, you know, it's got all them good qualities, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get away with using that as my floor insulation, lovelies. Don't know whether that's going to work or not. As I said, I picked up 3 packs, very, very cheap, enough to cover the whole floor in the van, and we'll just see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then I've got other plans for them, so it doesn't really matter. Now, I have gone with this, and a lot of people are going to go, oh my days, what has she done? This is classed as Thermowrap, so it's basically sort of like, I think it's R value for insulation is not even 1, because it has to be layered in a certain way, and your insulation has to go on, has to have a bit of an air gap. You put it on, you do all the rest. In that sink that I've just naffed off to the side there is my foil tape for sealing all that up. We won't go into too much information on that, that's boring. Here I have, there's 2 rolls in this one. I have got a big thing of sound deadening, which you cut to size and you stick in your panels, and then I have got a good bit here of 4-way stretch carpet, which is just going to be going on sort of like the door frames and stuff that I can't really insulate that well. Now this was one of them things that I bought before I kind of, you know, bought the van, and it is a tap. So bloody exciting, isn't it? Now, it's a hand pump tap, lovelies. It does work, I've tested it. You can just stick it on top of a bottle or anything, but I plan to put that next to the sink, along with, I've used these in the past for different things. It's a drying mat that you can kind of put your dishes on, all that kind of jazz. But yeah, they're boring bits, aren't they, really? I've had to change a plan on the tap, and I've gone for this because I've seen somebody else had something very, very similar on another van build video that I was watching amongst the hundreds more that I've been watching, and it is this. Okay, so this is called High Quality Life. Now, I did order this from China. It worked out, I think, as around just over 10 euros, but I was extremely excited with this one. It is a USB rechargeable pump. So we just see there, your little USB goes into the back. It's your tap. And then on the top there, if we're going to get a good look at that, we've got your standard on button, and then we've got what's supposed to be a 600 milliliter fill. So you're supposed to be able to press that, it dumps out its 600 ml, we'll see. So underneath there is this bit. It comes obviously with your lead for charging it, and then it came with, if I can find it in the box, a little piece of plastic tubing that will go in there and then go down into your water container, and hopefully, hey presto, you know, you can just do that. My plan is for this, I'm going to have, I've got another solar panel type thing that I want to put onto the dashboard for kind of charging up bits during the day and stuff like that. So that there, or hopefully, you know, it'll go from one of my charging points in the van. On charging points from the van, we're going over to this bigger box here. Now I picked up 2 of these, and these are just your standard USB ports. Oh, did I show you the light? No, I didn't. So that's just them there, just with the cap on. Now I've gone for the quick charge ones here, the 3.0, because most of my equipment that, you know, I had to go through what I wanted to be using in the van and what I was going to be using in the van. So I needed 2 of them, and I'm going to be placing 2 of them, I think, more in around the back area of the van, because the front area, I picked up what's known as, I think these are classed as a rocker switch. So this here, so we have different things that we can connect up with these. I had to go for blue LED lights because it's one of my favourite colours. On the middle here, we've got like the charging sort of thing that's going to tell you the state of your batteries. On one side, we've just got the 2.1 5 volt, there we go, your charging USBs. And on this other side here, if I can get the thing on, they're tight, you know. It has just your standard kind of cigarette point, which this is going to be located sort of at the front of my van, where things like my 14-litre cool box is going to go. The thing I like about this is it's already built in with its inline fuses. Now I'm not just going to solely be relying on them. I am going to be using, not that I know where it is now. Is that it? This is it. I've got so much stuff piled up around me. This is a separate, I haven't even took it out of plastic. The poor postman's just had his head wrecked with me and delivery people lately. So this is a blade fuse holder. So basically, lovelies, it has your positives and your negatives all in one handy little box. So if you know anything about van electrics, a lot of the more older systems, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I'm going to get that wrong, have your positive sort of thing with your fuses in, and then they branch off to a separate panel which is down here. Really happy with that. So I am going to be super safe, I suppose, with my electrical system. On the notes of electrical systems, I couldn't resist these, and again, they're a China buy, so hopefully, you know, they won't go up in smoke. I got 2 of these, and I just thought they were just so cool. Well, it depends on what you think that looks like at the minute, but they do move. You can go up, and they're on independent switches here, but they're just wee sort of like reading lights, and I want them in the back, sort of in around the area of my fixed bed. And as I said, I've got 2 of them, so that's them. Then I bought, now I've bought these, I'm not sure if I've done the right thing with these or not. I got 6 of these tiny little puck lights. My lighting's terrible, guys, sorry. I'm relying on natural light here today, but I've unscrewed one so you can have a look. They're LED, obviously, so they're not going to take too much power. Now, they're already fitted with these wee junctions, okay, which go into this wee junction box, which I'm not going to be using. Nope. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting off the end of that, rewiring them. I'm not sure, am I going to have to sort of upgrade the wire to something a little bit more heavy duty, but that's not a problem even if I do, because it's just a case of sort of melting the solder that's on there and reconnecting up my new wiring. I can do all that kind of bit. I'm all right with things like that. So it's just the whole thing at the minute of kind of connecting up the whole electric system, which at this rate might take the next year. But anyway, we have a box of 6 of them. They weren't expensive, and if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. I'm not going to have them kind of permanently fitted into the ceiling or wherever I end up putting them, just in case, and then I can just change them out. Right, next up, lovelies. Oh, and we're back down on the floor again. Right, I do have here, we can have a look. There we go. That is a 2-burner gas stove cooker. Jesus, I'm all over the place at the minute. We're just going to remove my cooler box, and I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, but there are 2 gas burners on top, and then it's an oven as well. Now, this was something that was very, very kindly gifted to me by an extremely dear friend. She knows I absolutely love cooking, okay? I think I'm all right here. I haven't given anybody food poisoning or anything yet. I only burn things maybe every once in a while because I forget about them. I'm off doing something else. Now, this does state on the outside, for the company's more so own safety, that it's for outdoor use only. This one I've got does actually come with the fail-safe thing, where if there's no gas supply or there's no flame, it will automatically cut off the gas. So I have kind of had a lot of questions about this because I've put it up in a couple of groups I'm in on, you know, oh, you can't use that because it's such and such. And, you know, if there is a case where I think that for some reason or another it's not going to be safe to use in the van, I'm going to make a pull-out thing out the back so that I can open the back doors, you know, well, if the weather ever gets good here, and, you know, I could use it outside instead. Now, I think I've already explained to you, did I, about my cool box. I don't even know if it's going to be any good. It's a 14 litre. The main thing I was worried about was my milk, because I drink an awful lot of tea and I need to make sure that I've got a constant supply of my lactose-free milk on board, and maybe the odd bottle of wine or a few cans or something along those lines. So that's that. So just to start off with, I am just going to say that when I'm doing my build to start off, I start off and we start off and oh, we'll just start again. What's going on? Even the cooler's telling me to shut up. I bought just a single burner. I'll just give you a quick look. It comes in a really bad quality case, but it was from Halfords Lovelies and it was €15. So I'll just show you this, if I can assemble it first. So all it basically is, everybody's going to know what this is. It used to use one when I was camping and things like that. So it's just your cylinder camp stove. So that's going to be going in. And on top of that, to get me started, I also have 4 cans of gas. Jesus, we're very premature, aren't we, considering where I am on my build. But needed a roof light, knew that. I wasn't prepared to go and pay sort of €300 or €400 for a max air fan. Well, no, I'm just going to be honest, I haven't got the money to do that. If I had the money, I wouldn't have the cool box. I'd have a Dometic or a Thetford or whatever the hell they are, compressor fridge. But, you know, they're basically cost more than what I paid for my van. So I'm not going to do that. So I just went at the moment for this, I think it's called Flymer. There we go, if we can see that there. And it is, I went for the tinted one. I'm not going to get it out and show you all that kind of jazz, because yeah, just, you know, that's just the way it goes. Obviously when you're in the van, you're going to need to go to the toilet. I'll show you the toilet first. So basically we went for the Thetford porta potty 145 should I say. It's a 10 litre capacity. You put your liquid chemical stuff, you blah de blah de blah in there, and it does whatever it's supposed to do. Only going to be for emergencies only. But then, lovelies, you know, these. If you don't know what this is, I'm just going to no, I'm not going to demonstrate, I'm just going to show you. So these are essentially what's called a shiwi. Okay, so if we can, there we go. It just looks an awful view. So yeah, basically it's just so that kind of women can pee like men, I suppose, really, in a way, for want of a better description. Yeah, so they're silicone, they're nice and soft and squishy, so they're not going to hurt your sensitive bits. You can stick the funnily bit into a bottle if you needs be, you know, desperate times cause desperate measures and all the rest of that. Yeah, so I think I'm kind of covered on the toilet situation, which is great. Now, my last little invention, or my last, I'm going to call this a gadget, and I'm going to call this kind of one of my must-haves, because for me, I do want to have sort of an area inside the van where I can have like a quick shower or something along them lines without trying to get myself in that sink. Though I probably could, because it's absolutely massive. And I'm only tiny. But I bought, and we're just going to have a look at this first. So this is the shower hose. Now, in here, there's a little thing for the clip to put the shower up with. These are two little rechargeable battery units, which are micro USB rechargeable. They are supposed to be 2,200 amp hours of capacity. In volt is 5 volt, 0.12, something along them lines. I have absolutely no idea what any of that really means. But then this part here, you basically just pop into a bucket of water. So one thing I can see as being an advantage with this, if it works, we're going to do a bit of a demonstration video, I think, on that and the tap, and we'll just see how it goes. If it works, you know the way you're in your normal household shower, you have to wait a few minutes, don't you, lovelies, before it gets to the right temperature, which is a load of water wasted down the plug hole. With this, you've got your kind of, I don't know, temperature mixed up in your bucket. Does that make any sense? I don't know whether it does or not. And then you just drop this in and it automatically goes. So yeah, I am really looking forward to give that a go. I'm looking forward to giving it a demonstration for you. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed with is when I bought it, it looked like the advertisement made it look like it came with 2 heads. Now I am delighted to say, just throw it everywhere, that it is a standard fitting that you'd find on your normal house tap. But I want one that's got the, I don't know what you call it, the kind of trigger switch on it, so you're not wasting so much water if you're stopping to lava up, and you're not having to reach for the little button to turn off the pump or bits and pieces like that. So as I said, I'm going to be doing a bit of a demonstration on my gadgety things at some point. Probably in one video, there'll be no point in doing it with 2. I'm not going to show you my showering, obviously. You know, just we're not on clickbait just yet. Just over here in this other big box, some people are already going to know what it's going to be by seeing this. So this is for my diesel heater. Now, it was very, very important to me because I suffer with the cold and I suffer with a few different conditions, that I don't get to a point where I am going into hypothermia, so to speak, a lot quicker than the average person. So I did buy myself, what is classed as the 2 to 5 watt diesel heater. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to lift this out to show you. I'm not, because I know my back's just going to go into a spasm. You will get to see the diesel heater in, you know, an up and coming diesel build, no, van build video. I hope that by, you know, my next 2 weeks, or when I next upload my van video, I will have some better footage for you of the actual van. But yeah, let's just all keep the fingers crossed that things go to plan like that, and, you know, we get there eventually. I am a bit disappointed, I'm a bit frustrated that I can't do more. I'm sure there was so much more here I could have shown you, but, you know, this is just, yeah, these are little bits and pieces I've got so far. I've got other things out in the garage, like some reclaimed wood I've managed to find. I've got some pack of insulation, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just raring to go now at the moment. But yeah, there's nothing more I can do, I'm afraid, than just to show you sort of like, yeah, lots of bits I've got really. Hope you enjoyed this videos, lovelies. If you have any questions about any of the products and stuff like that I've shown you, then, you know, drop me a comment or whatever down below. Stay tuned and we'll see what's coming up next. I do have another couple of non-related videos that are on the cards to come out. Just haven't got around to doing them kind of yet, or sorting them out yet, should I say.